Hi everybody, this is Baseball. How you made it spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion. Host, welcome back to the Baseball Hut, and hopefully like this video. This was a very strange game. It's a very strange game to watch from the Mets' perspective, and really just all the way around. It was a very oddly played game. The Mets kind of sleptwalked most of this game, to be honest with you. For 7 innings, they sleptwalked through this game. But I would mention this, in the 5th inning, the Mets got a triple play against them. The Nationals didn't get one out in that inning. Umpires, I said this on X. The umpiring in Major League Baseball is atrocious. It's terrible. It's been terrible for a long time. That's why we have the replay. But it seems like we've had the replay for all these years, for 15, 16 years, and the umpiring has gotten worse, and it showed. And of course, Alfonso Marquez, who's probably one of the worst umpires in baseball, had to be in the middle of it. You can't have good umpires if you keep the bad ones around. Look at Angel Hernandez. He was around forever. That doesn't help. And then you get all these acolytes of him, of his running around, and not one umpire saw that play. I could see it from live action that Lowe had trapped the ball at first. He didn't get one out in that inning. He didn't get out in that play. 1 out. Didn't get 1 out in that play. Ball hit the ground. Everybody knew it hit the ground. And then of course you got the replay, and you can't replay everything. I mean, this doesn't make any sense. How stupid is that? Now, be that as it may, a couple of things were good in this game. Obviously, the ending wasn't. We'll get to the ending. But the Mets' offense was basically non-existent until the 8th inning. We had this 3-run triple by Mark Vientos, and now you can tell that Vientos is starting to, his batting average is going to go up, the home runs are going to go up, because all the bad luck, along with the lousy swings that he was taking early in the month, are gone. So, when you start to hit the ball better, and you're starting to get some luck, you get a lucky at bat, which he did. It should have been a single. Should have been a 2-run single, and Cruz just made a fool out of himself. He's flailing. He should just played it off the bounce. And he got a 3-run triple out of it. The Mets didn't tack on, and the Mets should have tacked on, especially knowing that they weren't going to have Edwin Diaz finishing up the game. Juan Soto, he did not misplay that ball in the outfield. The ball just kept going and going and going. It just tipped off his glove. I'm not going to blame him for this game at all, for the 9th inning. The bullpen did not pitch well tonight, other than Reed Garrett. Obviously, Brazelbon gave up a run. He was nervous wreck, walking the back, falling behind the count. Stanek, I don't know what happened there in the 9th inning. To give up that kind of hit to Cruz, who's he's picked it up a little bit, but he's been struggling since the beginning of the year. And A.J. Minter. And then, of course, we've had mental mistakes in this game. The mental mistake by Brandon Nimmo to throw the ball to third base instead of throwing it to second base cost the Mets a run. And then Jeff McNeil, the play on that ball hit up the middle by James Wood. Gotta knock the ball down. Gotta knock the ball down. That's the number one thing you gotta do. I was surprised that Abrams ran as hard as he did. I was surprised they sent him. But once, that ball got tipped off of McNeil, that ball was sort of in no man's land, as they said during the broadcast. And it just wasn't, it just wasn't the Mets' night. It just wasn't, from all the way around. I just had a bad feeling about this game the whole night. And obviously, they lost to Jake Irvin, who killed them again. I was so happy when they took him out of the 8th inning, with 1 man out. Now, Cody Senga pitched pretty good. Again, he pitched really well. Gave up 2 runs. One of them wasn't his fault, and the other one. But he had all his pitches. It took him a while to get his stuff really cranking, because he wasn't throwing that hard early in the game, and that splitter of his, that ghost fork, wasn't really moving it, dancing as it normally does. But it was moving pretty good later in the game. Yeah, that play by Soto, it just tipped off his glove. There's nothing you can do about it. And Cruz is so fast. He's such a good athlete. He was able to get to third with no problem. But this is just a lousy game. It was just it just doesn't make you feel good. And they played so well, won 7 in a row. Had that perfect homestand. The Mets are now 3-4 on the road, which is interesting to talk about, I guess. They have to play better on the road. Obviously, they're going to win the division. But give the credit to the Nats at 12-14, I guess. They played rather well. But it was a very strange game. And you knew the Mets were in trouble when they had this triple play and they get it out. That's just it, making out in that game. And it was crazy. Watching that now. He didn't get the guy out at second. The ball hit the ground before he caught it. I mean, that's just... And not one umpire saw it. The umpires are, again... Umpiring in Major League Baseball is lazy. Now, Major League Baseball used to have a competition with the umpires in the National League and the American League. Once they got rid of the leagues and they consolidated the umpiring got bad. Got progressively worse. And it's funny, these guys are in such great shape, all these umpires, but they always seem to be out of position. They always seem to get the call wrong. And then the guys from 30, 40 years ago, those guys were like 400, 500 pounds, and they always got the calls right. Every time. You don't see guys like Eric Gregg and umpiring anymore. Nope. You don't see guys like Dutch Renard, who was like 5'0" and 250 pounds, and he was getting the calls right. All these umpires from the past, like that poor umpire that passed away on the field. He was out of shape and he passed away on the field, but he was a good umpire. Yeah, all these great umpires that are totally out of shape and they did a great job. These guys are in great shape, they're crappy. They all suck. Every single one of them. And again, if you're going to have replay, folks. John Sherry, that was his name. If you're going to have lousy umpires, you better make sure you have replay. You better make sure that you have the replay on all the players. You can't say, well, it's not on this, it's not on that. It was obvious that it wasn't caught. I mean, everybody could see it. I could see it from the camera. Live. I was like, you didn't catch that ball. You could see it. You could see by how he reacted. How did the first baseman react to that ball? Major League Baseball's in a lot of trouble. I like this call like I see it. They're in a lot of trouble. You can't have bad umpiring going on in baseball like this. And this goes for all the games. All the players know it. Major League Baseball knows it, and they do nothing about it. They do nothing about this. You never hear about umpires being reprimanded. The one good umpire they had, they fired him because his friend was gambling. Even though they said, their own investigation said, he didn't gamble, he didn't know about it, and he didn't gamble, and he loses his job. And then meanwhile, Shohei Ohtani is gambling, had to know that his friend was gambling, because he's using his account, and there's no problem. You get the situation with the Astros, no problem. They ignore it. You got all these problems with the umpires, and that's the sin of Major League Baseball right now. Is the umpiring is so bad, folks, that they don't do anything about it. I don't know why. It's so easy to take care of it. You fire some people, you suspend some people for doing a lousy job. It's like every other job. But for some reason, these guys are untouchable. And now you're going to see idiots like John Boy and all these different people online say, well, this is what happened. No, fire them. Get rid of them. That's why a lot of people are very uptight about Major League Baseball and its integrity. And that's how it is. Well, this was a very irritating loss, as you could tell. And I had to have this rant because I gotta blame somebody. But this is every night, folks. I mean, the umpire behind the plate wasn't that great tonight. And it wasn't that great the last few days, to be honest with you, behind the plate. Inconsistent pitches. Excuse me. Inconsistent strike calls. And like I said, umpires from 30, 40 years ago, completely out of shape, did a better job than these guys. Prove me wrong. If you're old enough, prove me wrong. Well, let me know what you think about this video, and I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm pissed off.